What's going on, everybody? It's your boy 300. We are back with another video. I want to talk about WrestleMania Night 2. Night 2 was great. I think Night 2 was far better than Night 1. However, I think the main event for Night 1 was way better than the main event for Night 2. This video is going to be like in a different direction. I really need to get y'all thoughts on this. I need to understand, you know, the logic behind certain stuff, and kind of want to explain my feel for what happened last night. If you guys obviously know, it's the John Cena Cody Rhodes outcome, which you see my little man's right here. This is like my wristwatch, basically. Honestly, you go. Do they still sell this in the WWE shop? I don't know, but this joint is fire, man. So that's my little John Cena belt. Okay. Now the outcome for that match, I wanted John Cena to win, but I think with every match in Night 2 and Night 1, we predicted the outcome. We kind of knew who was going to win. It was pretty obvious. We kind of know the direction that WWE's been going. They've been going with more of the fans, and the storyline's been aligning with that. And we all kind of knew. It was like pretty much in our face. We knew who was going to win. It's about the delivery, expectation, you know, the spots in the ring and how they were going to perform and how they're going to make the match great enough that the story also excels. Like how the story makes sense towards the match and how everything's going to go, right? My biggest thing is that I feel like, and I've been watching Kicking It with Ross. I watch so many other people, even Assemble. When they talk about WWE and they talk about the outcome for matches, I understand to a point, because I'm like, I know when they speak about the IWC community or just any other community, I'm just like, yeah, there's some pros and cons to the communities. I see it. And I myself, I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, there's a problem with what I've been saying for the last several months. The story buildups have not been the strongest in WWE in a while. Like this year, you know, also a little bit of last year leading into this year, the storylines have not been the strongest. There's been some points where I'm like, the CM Punk, Seth, and Roman thing, it was pretty good. But remember, Roman wasn't appearing on the show often. So, you know, there was some missing pieces there. And then he started appearing. And of course, the story felt stronger, of course. And then, you know, I get it. I guess he's the most popular WWE superstar right now. So he has his breaks in between. He's filming or whatever he's doing. But there is some cause and effect for all this, right? So I'm gonna just be honest. That fatal 4-way with Dominic Mysterio, I wanted him to win. That outcome was phenomenal. And guess what? There wasn't a strong story buildup for that. That story was not strongly built, but guess what? That match was phenomenal. We all wanted to see Dom win. I think it was about time to kind of split the Judgment Day a little bit. And then we have matches that were super weak on the card, like the New Day and the Viking Raiders. Like, if I said it correctly, excuse me. That match was so underwhelming, and that was an advertisement match, honestly, for Clash of Clans. So you have your pros, you have your cons, but I think there's something missing here. And forgive me, I'm freaking cold, so if I'm start shivering, man, my bad, yo. This is like the first time experiencing like real AC. I know it sounds depressing, but like, look, the John Cena Cody Rhodes match was so lackluster. It was so underwhelming, y'all. It was a letdown because of the expectation. We all knew who was gonna win. I wanted John Cena to win. There's no way he was gonna take 2 crossroads within 2 promos in the last few weeks and then not come out as the winner. It's about the delivery. And I think when it least convenience the fans, they voice their opinions. The IWC community be on Twitter. They be everywhere voicing their opinions. Triple H is the worst. WWE as a product is shit. This, that, and the third. But where it conveniences the fans, where it's most convenient, it's like, oh, no, nah, John Cena said this. And I'm like, yo, let me ask y'all something. Do y'all, that's his gimmick. As a heel, he says he's ruining wrestling. He's going to take the belt home. Like, screw you fans. Do you genuinely think when he takes the belt home, there's never going to be another belt? No, it's part of his gimmick. There would be another belt, right? So why would y'all take that and know what he means by that? But then the outcome of this match, which we all wanted John Cena to win, but the whole layout of the match was kind of like, it was pacing, you know, okay, but we all assumed it was a build-up. We all assumed it was a build-up for a greater like story that was going to happen in ring. We all thought this, like we all felt like this was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Travis Scott pulls up. Now, when Travis Scott pulls up, I'm thinking like, okay, this is part 1. Travis Scott takes like 5 minutes to get into the ring. And they're playing Fiend. Do you understand they're playing Fiend? They're playing Fiend for 5 minutes. I feel bad for any YouTuber who was live streaming that because copyright hell was going on. So listen, I'll just call it Copyright City, bitch. Like, they were really cooking y'all on YouTube for that, because they played Fiend for 5 minutes. He was coming down the ring. That whole that whole situation, I don't even think was like spotted correctly. I feel like it was a little bit like slow. It was I'm gonna use the term underwhelming. I think on paper it looks good. You know, Travis Scott approaches the ring. Cody Rhodes is like, come on, fight me. And he's like giving his last breath basically to the business. You know, remember, he was the champion for a year and some change. So he's giving his last fight. So he's gonna fight off, you know, Travis Scott. He gets his receipt. John Cena still gets him. But the way it happens, Jey Uso got hit with the belt, y'all, and still kicked out. You're telling me Cody Rhodes took so many damn attitude adjustments, even when going up against Roman Reigns in him, and took a beating of a lifetime. But this time he gets kicked in his ball sack, hit with the belt. Seconds roll by, like 7 seconds to 10 seconds. John Cena goes out to the ring, goes out and calls the ref, gets him in, and still able to get that pin off. The outcome was a little bit underwhelming. And I think to most people, I wanted John Cena to win, but I wanted the story to also kind of be side by side with it. The storyline don't make sense. And some of y'all be like, yo, yes it does. Y'all just met. No, just because he said he was gonna ruin wrestling doesn't necessarily mean for certain he was gonna ruin wrestling. Now y'all gonna make me break the kayfabe. Y'all gonna make me break out of the fan that I am. It's like saying Santa's real, and then one day there's cookies that's still there, and then the kids are gonna be like, oh, but you said Santa's real. And then I have to say, yo, listen, Santa's really not that real. But you know what? I was supposed to eat the cookies, but I wasn't that hungry that night. Like, y'all want me to do that? Okay, so I'm gonna do that. For anybody out there who's like, oh, but John Cena said it. We understand that. Guess what, though? He's not the guy that makes the decisions in creative. He's not the guy that puts together the storyline for that match specifically. It's Triple H and the creative team. And guess who else played a part in this whole story? The Rock. The whole idea was that John Cena sold his soul for The Rock, and then was giving promo, which I was like, okay, it's not about The Rock yet in his promo. It's about how the fans disrespected him. So basically the fans disrespect him. If y'all want me to be completely honest, if it's really about fuck the fans and everything, then your ass shouldn't have returned to WWE and you should have just stayed in Hollywood. But obviously he's wrestling, he's a heel, and it's just a story gimmick. So the whole point is he's doing all this promo, and then he finally gets to The Rock, but doesn't necessarily still answer why. He just gives like this kind of bland answer, but he still goes around about the fans. The Rock didn't really disrespect the fans. The Rock did this whole neck shit, and that's when he turned heel. But The Rock was a part of that storyline. He turned heel for The Rock. Like, he turned to The Rock, and he basically let the final boss, he sold his soul. But this whole thing wasn't about selling his soul. You get what I'm saying? And this is the second time that The Rock had interfered within a storyline, or should I say interjected with a storyline. And does it continue the story out because either the fans' reaction or just some things get changed? Last year, though, the audible that happened with The Rock in WWE was way better. When The Rock was going to take over Cody Rhodes' story, when he was about to take over to do the Roman Reigns fight, the fans' reaction caused WWE to do an audible, and then The Rock quickly and the team quickly shifted and did a W move by making it about the Bloodline family, even though Roman Reigns was out here disrespecting family too, talking about how he is the guy. And then also Cody Rhodes, you know, saying the little comments that he said, and it caused The Rock to say that him and Roman is Bloodline, you disrespected my family. And it became a 2-on-2 for night 1 and then a 1v1 for night 2. Okay, and then Cody Rhodes got his story off. In this case, John Cena comes back, does an amazing heel turn, one of the best, because of The Rock. I understand the outcome of the match would have still been John Cena winning, because right from Royal Rumble to Elimination Chamber during the press, he said he's coming. He's coming to win the championship. Pause. He's coming to win the championship. Number 17. He's going to become champion. Number 17. Okay. 17 times. But literally, some of y'all, I even read the comments on my stream. I read comments on Twitter, and I'm like, I feel like certain fans, for example, love going off of other people's like frustration or like experience. So like for some people, who were like upset about this. You had one side of the fans that are like, well, that's what you get because John Cena. Like, you make me feel like you're really not a fan of wrestling. Because if you're a fan of WWE, you would understand the frustration, not of the outcome of the match, but like, where the fuck was the rest of the story with this match? I feel like there was missing pieces. I feel like we're about to get a DVD for deleted scenes. You get what I'm saying? And then you got the other side that kind of understands what we're talking about. I honestly feel like John Cena's match would have still been, as said, it felt very empty. It felt like it was empty pieces. Cody Rhodes, as a champion, has been reigning champion for all this time, didn't even have a moment of build back. Like, his momentum was so down and he was just taking a beating from John, which, okay, that looks good. But I honestly, and I think many of us thought, there would be a moment where Cody Rhodes is whipping his ass, which would then cause Travis Scott, which he did come out, but it would also cause The Rock and whoever else may have came to come out, may have came to the ring. But none of that happened. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Travis Scott came out with John Cena still being the dominant in the ring. Like, while he was dominating in the ring, I think he just kicked out of a pin or something just happened and he's laughing. And again, I think some people literally took it too literal when they were like, that John Cena said he's gonna ruin wrestling. You know how many people paid $20,000 for them seats? You think WWE would risk a bad, lackluster match knowing that people put $20,000 and they ass in a seat? Like really? Like, are y'all really, like, really? The idea for any gimmick was, you know, a heel turn is fuck the people, fuck these kids, man, fuck all these people, fuck the elderly, fuck everybody mama. Like, that's the whole point. A heel is not to be liked. They're gonna say anything. I'm gonna take this championship back home where it belongs and take it away from all of you. He was putting a gimmick about his hatred and his resentment towards the fans. But as the match goes on in creative, they got to put together this match with a story. And I felt like this story was missing and it just was a little bit lackluster. It was lackluster. I can almost guarantee that if it was less convenient for anybody else, y'all would be probably complaining as well. Y'all would be voicing y'all thoughts on the fact that this match was not holding up to what we thought it would be. Cody Rhodes fought like he should have never been champion. Not only that, I understand the gimmicks. Like, listen, things work, things don't work. On paper, due to the fact that these guys didn't have that much time during their face-offs, they did like two, three face-offs. They didn't like meet each other in the ring and fight after that. They just did the added, like, the crossroads, and that's it. And then the program was over. They didn't have enough time to really fight each other in the ring. John Cena did like 4 moves the whole match. It just didn't register well. Whatever was on paper about give these fans what they don't want, it didn't register well, and it gave like a lackluster experience. It was really a bad match. But then Triple H basically, you know, insinuated that you guys need to watch Raw tonight because it's gonna be much better. Which, okay, I trust that, but I think some of y'all took it too literal when y'all said, well, John Cena said this. There's no way Nick Khan and creative and the writers and everyone in Triple H was just gonna sit here and allow a bad match to go on. Why was Travis Scott there, yo? Get him out the fucking ring. Why was Travis Scott there? There was no point for Travis Scott to be there. Literally. That was so pointless. And that's the issue. And it's not like, you can't blame The Rock for the performances in the ring, but The Rock interjected his whole point of being in the story and interjected himself to be a part of this whole thing with John Cena. So why wasn't he there? That's the problem, you know. And some people, again, be so over it being a fan that, like, y'all okay. Like, it's okay to just have a discussion about it. We know the outcome, it's okay. But I swear to God, when it least conveniences anybody, then y'all start voicing y'all opinions. Then y'all start making y'all voices heard, right? Okay, no problem. This match right here was super mid, in my opinion. It was kind of like a weak ass match, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it was worse than the Tiffany and Charlotte Flair match, because that match was bad. Like, Tiffany came out winning, she came out strong, but that match, they missed so many different spots. It was sloppy. Even with John Cena and Cody, you can see John Cena saying, hit me right now, hit me again, but not in a heel way. He's not screaming it to him. And let's talk about that too. John Cena didn't even sound like it. He didn't even come off like a heel in that match. What, he removed the turnbuckle shit and hit him with a belt? The match didn't even feel heelish. He didn't even feel like he was fighting like a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I think people forget what heels and faces do, man. I think people forget this shit. And I blame y'all, because I came back to wrestling 2 years ago to watch it because, well, not y'all really, but like my community put me back into it. And now that I've been observing and I've been paying, so, and I've been analyzing, over analyzing, super analytical on the program. Now I'm like, wait, but that's not a heel move. Like, John Cena, what are you doing? You pulled 2 heel moves. There's barely anything heel about your match. And then Cody Rhodes just got his ass whooped. No fighting chance, no baby face, no nothing. Yeah, he was getting boos, by the way, during the match. That makes sense. And John Cena was getting cheers, just like Dominic Mysterio. He was getting cheers, and I love it. I just think the delivery of the match was weak, bro. The delivery of the match was weak. We had the women's triple threat match in the beginning. Now that we moved past that, the women's triple threat match in the beginning was one of the best matches of the night. That match was phenomenal. I was right about my prediction. Io Sky retained, and I think that was the best thing, the best way to go about it. I'm telling y'all, Io Sky felt like the third wheel. The storyline was kind of weak, in my opinion. Also, I feel like the way Asian wrestlers are portrayed, they're not able to really excel with their storylines because they're not putting them with managers if they don't speak good English, or like their promos aren't as strong enough because I guess they're not backing it enough with enough production on it. And I think they should. But she might be going after Rhea Ripley. I got a feeling Bianca, and this is actually her first time losing at Mania, she might be going back to like Jade and Naomi for like a storyline. I don't know how it's gonna go, but she probably be doing that. But it made so much sense, excuse me, and that match was excellent. I think even the Liv match, where Becky Lynch came back, I wasn't too like hype. Oh my God, I want to see this match, but it was good execution. I would say that match was good. There was people crying in the crowd seeing Becky returning, so that was nice to see. That was nice. And I just think it was fair execution. I think that match was put together right. It was put together the right way. I got to give my credit to Liv Morgan. Like, I wasn't a fan of Liv, but even when they gave it a title, her run was pretty well, and she did good as a heel. And honestly, I think she could sell. She sells very well. I think she sells very well as a heel. We'll see if she ends up turning face or whatever the case may do, whatever the case may be. But that was an okay match as well. The AJ Styles and Logan Paul match, completely unnecessary. And I don't understand. That's another thing I'm not understanding. Why the fuck are we putting Logan Paul over when he barely fights? Chad, he is not a veteran in the game. He's been in WWE for 4 fucking years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's 4-0 in WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever the case. I think he's 4-1 or 3-1 or whatever his record is. And he's garnered more opportunities than some of the people in the back. I fuck with Logan's wrestling, but bro, he's barely there. I feel like he's been involved in WWE like 30 times out of the 4 years. That's not a lot of show ups. I don't know. It's weird. But in my opinion, that match shouldn't have happened. Why did AJ Styles lose? Why are they making him lose again at Mania? Why is he looking so bad? The man is on the verge of retiring. This is not a Randy Orton situation. Moving over to Randy Orton, that you see, this is where the IWC community gets mad. It's weird. It's when it least conveniences them. I don't know. Y'all mad that Joe? I thought it was going to be Nick Aldis or Rusev. People thought it was going to be the same. As soon as I seen it was Joe Hendry, I was in tears. I was happy. It felt fun. It's Wrestle fucking Mania. Randy Orton, as Randy Orton does as a professional and as an entertainer, he made the match look fire. Joe Hendry carried himself too. And then all of a sudden, the fun cam with fucking Randy Orton over here doing his signature move, whatever, on the camera as well. It was hilarious, bro. And some people were still mad about that. Oh my God, what the hell are these writers talking about? What are they doing? Joe Hendry, it should have been Jeff Hardy. But why is it it's okay to be upset about that, but y'all not upset about the way the match went? With, you know what? Never mind. Okay, my bad. It's because that affects you. No problem. So that match I thought was pretty good, even though it was very short. Whatever, I understand. What other matches did we have? Because, oh yeah, we have Drew McIntyre And then we have Damian Priest. It was a street match. I don't know, Extreme Rules, no holds barred, whatever they want to call the match that day. But that match was good. It was solid. Drew did the whole take a picture thing again. He tweeted it out. It was actually funny. That match was excellent. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was short, sweet. And of course, Drew's been taking so many L's as well in the WWE. I think they also switched up his storyline and they put him back a bit. He did a promo for Doom, and I know for a fact he looked pissed the fuck off. He was taking off his garments. He was removing everything from his body. He looked pissed. They started to like panning the camera around him. They removed the camera from him because normally they will put the camera close up to him when he's like, you know, while he's like taking off his gear or about to get on the top turnbuckles to say what's up to the fans and to taunt basically. And they had the camera from far away. He looks really pissed off, taking off everything and just throwing things on the ground. And again, I thought it was like an advertisement match. I don't know, but they put them garments on him for Doom. And I said, Doom the Dark Ages. And I said, holy shit, you could at least give the man his sword, bro. That is kind of crazy. So, you know, hey, that match was good. I got no complaints about it. That last like Claymore kick, whatever, with the chair, that shit was phenomenal. Damian Priest lost. I don't know what's gonna happen with the storyline with them because there was not a real strong storyline built. But overall, I think night 2 was way more better than night 1. Night 2 felt like WrestleMania. Night 1 felt like, with the exception of the last match, it felt like an enhanced Raw to me, like an enhanced Raw and SmackDown. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. But honestly, I think night 2 really set the tone. It was just that last match, man. But look, let me know what you guys think. That's how I feel about that last match. It was a little bit lackluster, pretty mid in my opinion, but I was still happy that one of my GOATs, because y'all know Stone Cold's my GOAT, but one of my GOATs came out winning, got his 17th time champion. He's a 17th time champion, okay? It's your boy 3MG. God bless everybody. I love y'all. We out of here. Peace.